everybody. My name is Merrill Rainey. I am the author, illustrator, and paper engineer behind this awesome paper toy book series by Odd called Color, Cut, Create. Now you might be familiar with some of my other work for Kidlit magazines like Highlights, Jack and Jill, and Humpty Dumpty, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're here to talk about the launch of the Color, Cut, Create contest.
Sponsored by the Grand Lake Area Literature Festival.
So go grab all your creative supplies, come back and sit with me for a few minutes, and we'll go over tips and tricks on how to add that wow factor to your creative submission. First, we need to make a plan. I use a notebook or a sketchbook to jot down all of my ideas. When making a plan, I'll ask myself questions like, what tools, props, and materials will you need? What is the setting of your project? Does your project tell a story? Do your characters need a costume? What colors will you use to set the mood of your project? Once I've answered all of these questions, I'll start to sketch out my ideas. Thumbnail sketches, or storyboarding, are small sketches that you use to help figure out what your project will look like or how it will work. Making a plan is key to any project. Now that we have all of our ideas written down, let's get building. Let's recap. First, we color. Then we cut. And finally, we create. Now that we have all the horses and dinosaurs created, let's get building all of the playset pieces and props. With over 70 paper toys in each of these books, your projects are going to be epic. To quote the back of the book, color, cut, create is paper engineering made easy. All you need is markers, scissors, and glue. No fussy instruction or delicate designs that crumble at the slightest touch. Now that we have everything created, let's go over some tips and tricks. First, let's arrange all of our paper toys into a dynamic composition. A dynamic composition refers to the arrangement of elements within a work of art. Now let's go back to our notebook, review our plan, and make some additional notes. Upon review of your notebook, what setting did you decide on for your diorama or animation? What dynamic camera angles are you going to be using? We'll go over this in a minute. Are you telling a story with your project? What mood are you trying to create? Is it eerie? Is it happy? What sound effects will you be using? Do your characters need a costume? What are you using for a light source? Is it a flashlight? Is it a desk lamp? Maybe it's just the light from outside. Now that I have your attention, a couple of things before we move on. I really want you to think out of the box with your projects and make them as creative as can be. And just a reminder, with any of my competitions or projects, no guns, no violence. Okay, let's get back to it. Here are a few examples of costume changes. Maybe your character is an aspiring space explorer. Maybe they just like to dance in the rain. And here are some examples of some dynamic camera angles. First, we have the landscape that shows everything in your scene. Second, we have the extreme close-up. Third, we have the bird's eye view, like if a bird is looking down on you. And fourth, we have the worm's eye view, as if you were a worm looking up at your characters. Let's go over that one more time. Say it with me. Landscape, extreme close-up, bird's eye view, worm's eye view. Okay, now that we've gotten some tips and tricks in, let's crank it up and get creating. Man, do I feel pumped to create now. Here's an example of a photographed diorama. Notice the dynamic composition and camera angle, the bright colors to show the sense of urgency. I chose a traditional setting, and you'll notice the loudest silent sound effect you'll ever hear. One other photographic trick you can use is to simply change the color of your photo to black and white. Doing so gives it such a classic look.
Interesting fact. Oddot and I created these books not just to have super cool paper toy books about horses and dinosaurs, but we created these books to spur the imagination in fellow creatives just like you.
Now that you know what you need to add to your project to give it that extra wow factor, let's count down to the official start of the Color Cut Create contest. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2,